It cannot be coincidence that in quick succession, prominent individuals and organizations have indulged in Hindu bashing with almost fanatical zeal. Three individuals come to mind in this matter. The first person who has been stealing the headlines is, of course, Karnataka Congress Working President Satish Jarkiholi, who infamously was pitched in the spotlight with his equivalence of Hinduism with the word dirty. The other gentleman making waves on similar lines was Dr. Professor Chris Allen, Professor of Hate Crimes at the University of Leicester, who blamed the Hindu community of Leicester for the recent communal violence in that city. And joining this gang of spurious content providers was our very own ex-Southern superstar Kamal Haasan, who stridently made the case that the Chola kings were not Hindu. Subsequent to these fulminations and outbursts, Satish Jarkiholi has very reluctantly apologized. Dr. Chris Allen has been fired from his post at the university after the falsehood of his statements was established. And Mr. Kamal Haasan remains defiant as ever. Whatever the outcome of what these vested parties did or said, the damage has been done. Thanks to these characters and many, many more of the same ilk, Hindu bashing in international academia and policy circles has reached feverish pitch, with some even equating the assertion of Hindutva with the rise of the Gestapo and the SS in Nazi Germany. A word of caution here. This episode is not about proving the absurdity of these charges or even the political mileage some people obtain for spreading such scurrilous narratives. That to my mind is quite clear and well established by many other commentators. I would rather focus on the religious and sociological reasons why such people behave the way they do. But first, let me extend a warm welcome to all viewers of the CAA show. CAA, as all of you know, is Conversations and Analysis, and my name is Juggi Bhasin. To join our show, press the big red subscriber button on your screen. Subscription is, of course, completely free. These people do what they do in a time of great change. It goes without saying that no religion is hardline in nature or advocates violence or extremism. It is how one interprets one's religion or somebody else's for that matter, and that really is the moot point. In that context, all three major religions of the world, that is Christianity, Islam and Hinduism, are in the throes of change. In Islam, the tenets of the religion are being interpreted by the scholars and mullahs to establish a more muscular interpretation of the religion. This, of course, is also linked with the re-establishment of a no-nonsense, tough Muslim identity. In Christianity, two major and opposing changes are taking place simultaneously. In Middle America, a kind of biblical conservatism rules the order of things, and that influence carries right up to the US Supreme Court, which recently passed a new set of retrograde abortion laws overturning Roe versus Wade. There is also a lot of that conservatism in Latin America, but in Europe it is a different story. Church-going citizenry has declined significantly, and the Eurosceptic rules the day, caught in a web of nihilism and hopelessness. During all this change and since the rise of Modi, there has been a kind of reconfiguration of the Hindu identity. This assertion takes the form of don't abuse our gods and goddesses in cinema and other cultural channels, desist from beef eating, and treat a Hindu identity with respect and care. Now, if one were to compare the changes in all three religions, this assertion of Hindu identity or Hinduism or Hindutva or whatever you want to label it, it is quite mild as compared to the seismic, polarizing religious changes taking place in Islam and Christianity, with its hardline assertion of a ban on abortion and, in a sense, repudiation of women's rights. And yet, for some odd reason, Hinduism is under the scanner and the term Hindutva is equated with Nazism by the left liberal woke crowd. Why is this the case? The answer to this vexed issue lies in the fact that even a mild assertion of what it means to be a Hindu is unacceptable to the Kamal Hassans and Satish Jarkiholis and many others like them in the country, and to morality keepers like Dr. Chris Allen in the West. All these people have been born and bred on the concept of the meek Hindu, Gandhi's forever suffering Hindu who offers the other cheek when slapped on the first, and even Nehru's secular, accommodative Hindu who punishes his own self to accommodate the aspirations of the others, especially the significant minority in the country. In a sense, their entire concept of what it means to be a Hindu is not too different from Macaulay's Hindu and his disrespect for the Hindu gods and goddesses. And it goes without saying that to administer this meek Hindu should be another class of brown, refined, English-speaking westernized Hindus who replace the man in the solar hat with a bag full of secular ideals and a disdain for Hindu practices and religiosity. The slight deviation from the script and all hell breaks loose. It would always be set in stone, and yet Hinduism is changing with a demand for parity, respect, and acknowledgement. But that is unacceptable to all those who have their own ideas what a Hindu is all about or the way he should behave. This is leading not so much to a clash of civilizations, but a grinding between the old order and the new. New paradigms are emerging, and even if we disagree on everything, we cannot escape the fact of the reality that the old gives way to the new. And so on this note, I come to the end of this episode of the CAA Show. I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. If you like our show, do subscribe to us. And on this note, it's goodbye and cheers from my end.